Welcome to the Not Okay with Gray podcast, where our intention is to empower men and women to change their mindsets about aging so they can make the rest of their lives the best of their lives. This podcast is designed to be a dose of high-octane motivation and inspiration that propels you to embrace the idea that you really aren't aging. What you're actually doing is evolving, and through your evolution, the longer you live, the better you become at living. Our goal is to empower you to create the life of your dreams because you're never too old to build a life that you love. We want you to build a life of joy, passion, and purpose, filled with inner peace, dynamic health, great relationships, and financial abundance. This is what it means by saying, I'm not okay with gray. So, if you're ready to begin the journey of transformation, which will lead you to authentic happiness, it's time to get started with your host, Coach Michael Taylor, the irrepressible optimist with a passion for the impossible.
Hello, I'm Coach Michael Taylor. I am the author of I'm Not Okay with Gray, How to Create an Extraordinary Life After 50. And I'm also the host of the Not Okay with Gray podcast. And so I want to take this opportunity kind of to introduce the podcast and what the whole intention is for it. So for me, I'm committed to empowering men and women to change their mindsets about aging so that they can make the rest of their lives the best of their lives. You see, unfortunately in our society basically demonizes getting older. If you'll notice, there's a huge focus and emphasis on youth and beauty, and we forget the importance of wisdom coming from the elders, if you will. So in some cultures, for example, Native American culture, they put a high value on elders because they know that with age comes experience, and with experience comes wisdom. And so they put a lot of focus on that. But in our society and culture, unfortunately, we almost demonize aging. It's all about youth and beauty. And so I want to create a platform that supports and empowers people to embrace getting older, to recognize that the longer you live, the better you should become at living. And so I don't see ourselves necessarily as aging. I see us as actually evolving. And if we have the awareness and we're committed to our own growth, we will evolve and get better as we get older. And so you may be wondering, so what exactly do I mean by not okay with gray? Well, I have to share the story of how the title came about. So a friend of mine was teasing me because I dye my hair. And I looked at him and he asked me, why did I do it? And I said, well, I'm not okay with gray. And when I said that, it just clicked. Something in me said, wow, that's a great title for a book. And I didn't know what the content was going to be, but I just thought that would make an awesome book title. So I made a little note on my phone and I said, I'm going to write a book about that one day. And that was a couple of years ago. Well, again, I did write the book. And what I mean by not okay with gray is I choose not to accept what society says it means to grow older. Because as I just mentioned, society says that as we get older, then there's a steady decline in our physical, emotional, intellectual, and spiritual selves. And I don't agree with that. I believe that we can get better as we age. And so the intention of this podcast and the book is to give you some insights and information to help you change your mindset about growing older. And I don't think it's something we should be afraid of. Now, I think unfortunately the reason most people are afraid of getting older is because they have this idea that when they get older, they're going to become debilitated. Maybe Alzheimer's, or you watch television and what do you see? You see all these stories about getting older and how bad it might be. But what if we just shifted our mindset? What if we just make a declaration to ourselves that we're going to say, the older I get, the better I get. And that's the whole intention of this podcast, to help you get better as you grow older. So do not buy into mainstream media and what it says about growing older. Simply make a commitment to yourself that you're going to embrace this idea called I'm not okay with gray, meaning I'm not going to concede to what society says getting older is supposed to be like. Because I believe as you get older, you can get better. So what I'll be doing is I'll be sharing insights from my book. I'll be doing movie reviews because I love movies and I love how they can teach us things about ourselves. I'll be interviewing guests who will be sharing insights about aging and growing older gracefully. And so if you've been looking for a resource that empowers you as someone who's getting older, then you've come to the right place. Now, my friends call me the irrepressible optimist with a passion for the impossible. And so the intention here is also to express and share reasons for optimism. Because if you pay attention to mainstream media, it's no wonder that most people think that the world is going to hell in a handbasket. And I think if you ask most people if they're optimistic or pessimistic, they'd probably say they're pessimistic because they buy into society and the media and what it says. And so I'm reminded of an amazing quote, and I don't remember where it came from, but it says, all the water in the ocean can't sink a ship unless it gets inside of the ship. So too with negativity. All the negativity in our world can't sink us unless we allow it to get inside of us. And what that means is we allow it to get in our minds and our mindsets. So I want you to have a powerful, positive mindset about growing older. That's the whole intention of this platform. To share reasons for optimism, because it is my belief, and again, this is Michael Taylor's belief, that there's never been a better time to be alive on the planet than right now. And some people may think, well, oh my gosh, he's one of those head in the clouds, airy-fairy liberals that are in denial of reality. Well, no, I recognize all the challenges that are out there. I'm well aware of them. I simply choose not to focus my attention on those things that are beyond my control. And so the only things that are within my control are how I think, how I feel, and how I act. I have complete control over those things. And so do you. So if you're ready to take complete control of your life, if you're ready to embrace this idea that as you get older, you can get better, you've come to the right place. So let me extend an invitation to you to join me on the Not Okay with Gray podcast. And if it's something that resonates with you, my request is that you share it with others. Because I think the more people we can get to have a positive mental attitude is the more we'll change the world. Because I think the only way to change the world is one human being at a time. So let me thank you for joining me on this platform. And once again, if you resonate with the message that I'm sharing, be sure to share it with friends. Click the like button on the YouTube channel. Subscribe to the channel. Keep up with all the really powerful, positive things I'll be sharing. I can assure you, when you watch the videos, I'm going to be sharing a lot of information. But all this information I'll be sharing, I can promise you, it's going to be backed up by science. It's going to be backed up by my own experience. And I'm not saying it is the truth. Objectively, I'm saying it's my truth. And if my truth resonates with you, then boom, you've come to the right place. So I will share my truth as I see it. I will share my perception of the world. And I hope that if for whatever reason your lens happens to be a negative lens, it's going to shift and turn into a positive lens. So again, let me welcome you to the Not Okay with Gray podcast, and know that I am here to empower you to change your mindsets about aging so you can make the rest of your life the best of your life. I'll see you on the inside. Take care.